Senator Barbara Boxer of California, the chair of the Environment and Public Works Committee. Thanks for joining us tonight, Senator.
Thanks.
Senator, what about the issue of congressional pay and Senate pay in the event of a government shutdown?
Well, Lawrence, I really had to smile. I didn't hear the congressman say that he would give up his pay, in case of a shutdown. He just argues a constitutional argument against what we want to pass, which simply says if there's a shutdown, members of Congress should not be paid, ever, for that period of time that the government is shut down. We're not changing the rate of pay for members of Congress. It stays the same. We're not changing the salary. We're simply saying in the extraordinary event of a shutdown, we shouldn't be paid. And by the way, Senator Manchin of West Virginia is now circulating a pledge, which I have proudly signed, that says if there's a shutdown, we'll either give our pay to charity or send it back to the Treasury. I'm surprised the congressman didn't offer that up.
Senator Boxer, how difficult has it been, how agonizing has it been for you Senate Democrats to watch the Democrats compromising in exactly one direction for 2 months, just moving all the way to the Republican position, then having the Republican position move away from where they've been? Is there any more room that the Democrats can allow the president and Harry Reid to move in the direction of John Boehner?
Well, Lawrence, you know enough about the Senate and negotiations that we're not going to do it on television. But let me just say this. We are at now where the Republicans were originally when they said in the House $33 billion of cuts. We have moved there. And I just have to say, people tend to make this complicated. In my mind, it's pretty simple. The Republicans won the House. That is true. They did. They won big. That is true. We, Democrats, held on to the Senate in a tough year. We held on to the Senate, and of course, President Obama is still there. So if you look at the three parties to the negotiations, the Democrats control 2/3 of those parties. The Republicans 1/3, and they act as if they can get everything they want. That's not what compromise is about. We have compromised. We have met them halfway, more than halfway. There is no reason to be in this situation. Lawrence, the last time the government shut down, so many people suffered in the private sector around Yosemite National Park. On any given day in April, all of our national parks, they see about 800,000 visitors. All those small businesses, the restaurants, the toy shops, everything that's around there, they count on this for jobs. The Republicans say they care about jobs. My people around Yosemite in that last shutdown lost over $200 million. They never got it back, Lawrence. So don't tell me you're doing this to create jobs. It's going to hurt this economic recovery. Take what we're offering you. We control 2/3 of the three parties involved in this. We are meeting you more than halfway. Please, I am saying to the Republicans, at the end of the day, people want us to meet in the middle. We have done so.
We heard Republican Texas Senator Kay Bailey Hutchinson say in the opening of this program that a government shutdown would have what she called enormous consequences.
Yes.
You chair a committee that has jurisdiction on many of those consequences, the Environment and Public Works Committee, the ability to enforce and oversee environmental laws in the event of a government shutdown and regulations, and then also you have jurisdiction over virtually all government building projects, infrastructure projects within the 50 states and even in projects beyond the 50 states. These involve government contracts with private sector contractors, all of whom could find themselves in a position to sue the federal government for breaking and violating contracts if the payment flows are broken in those contracts as a result of a government shutdown. There could be enormous potential litigation exposure to the government in that.
Terrible. And disruption. And what about the workers and the business owners who are just going to be reeling from this? We oversee the Highway Trust Fund, all of those contracts going out there. We oversee cleanup of Superfund sites, dangerous pollutants on these sites, a lot of them near our kids' schools. We don't want to stop that. We are monitoring the air. you know, the EPA is, with a whole series of monitors called RadNet to make sure we know what kind of radiation is coming over from Japan. Will those people be pulled off that? We really don't know. And it goes on and on. So, you know, whether you're trying to buy a house and getting a mortgage through a federal agency, that's a problem. That's going to hurt our economy. SBA loans, small business loans, forget it. If you want to get your Social Security, you're just signing up for to become a new recipient of Social Security or Medicare. We think that's real problematic. So this isn't good. Mark Zandi, who, as many of you know, advised Senator McCain in his presidential race, said this shutdown, if it's prolonged, could lead to another recession and a loss of up to 700,000 jobs. I say to my Republican friends, you should declare victory. We have met you more than halfway. It has broken our hearts. We touched a lot of programs we think are important, but we did it because we respect the fact that there was an election. There'll be another one in 2012, okay. But in the meantime, you have to respect the fact that the Senate is still in Democratic hands, the president's a Democrat. Meet us halfway. Let's get on with it.
Senator Boxer, we'll find out how much flexibility there is with the Republicans. Sharing the frame with you there, as you have been speaking, was President Obama returning from New York to Washington on Air Force One. He is now headed to the White House for that meeting with Harry Reid and John Boehner. We will see what comes of that. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Thank
exactly.
you.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Senator.
Sure.